Hey guys, this is Monday night, and this is the newly homeless trucker adventure coming to you live here from the garden shed again tonight here on a Monday with Katie and my boy Trevor. And tonight I want to talk to you guys about surviving a narcissistic relationship and abuse. It's something that I have went through for the last 5.5 months. As you've seen some of my previous videos, I have lived in cemeteries, lived in the woods, even lived on church lots, and even stayed a few nights in a church parsonage. And now I'm staying in a garden shed. Usually with narcissism, there is no cure for the person that's experiencing the narcissism, because they're the ones that are doing the abuse. They don't know in their mind really when to quit. They can take it to extremes and to the levels it can even cause harm or even death to the other person. Me and my kids here, my babies, my fur babies, have went through this the last 5.5 months, guys. It's being in a garden shed here now the last month has been very different. I'm very thankful to the individuals that offered this, but it's not like going back at home. And I know I've had some people say, just stop, just quit, nobody's really interested. But if you put yourself in this situation, you can see it from my end. You can say, stop, or you don't want to hear it, but you don't have to look at this. It's just something that I'm living through. I'm just documenting how I'm surviving, and posting how it makes it's the challenges that I have to go through. The survival of every day, getting out here and trying to fix something to eat, trying to stay warm, trying to get something to drink. Water is even a challenge here, guys. Bathroom privileges, a challenge. Eating, a challenge. Getting food, a challenge. Getting up in the morning and going to the restroom out, and you lose your dignity. It's not just something you can say stop and not want to hear it. It's okay when you're in your own world and you're not in this. But when you're in this right here, it's something you're experiencing. You can't stop it. You just can't shut it off, because it makes you feel uncomfortable. How about for the individual that's going through it? It makes them feel very uncomfortable. I was put out here. I was not willfully a candidate who wanted to be out here. My spouse, after 15 years, put us out here, and we don't want to be out here, but this is how we're surviving. I want people to know what narcissism is about, how it can affect your relationship, what it can do, what harm it can cause, and how to survive. You're not alone if you're going through this. You're not alone if you're not, other people are experiencing, men and women both are experiencing breakups like this in astronomical records here lately. And I don't have any answer or why, but it's happening. If you got family to go to, awesome, I kudo you. That's great. If you got a place to go to, I suggest you go to. But don't let these people to come back in your lives, guys. They can really storm your life out. As you've seen some of my past videos, how tired and wore out, and the challenges that you have to live every single day. It's not just an hour or two and then you're going right back to feeling normal, being all happy. You're pretty much on survival mode every day. And this is a place out here where nobody should be. Sometimes when it gets cold, you have to experience it. When it's hot, you have to experience it. You can't control the elements and say stop. I don't want to hear this. Well, I always challenge anybody that wants somebody to stop. Come on out here and take 2 months off my life. I would be glad to be able to be in the world where everybody else is happier at, and look at it through watching me instead of living this and talking to you guys. I just want to put out here how to survive and what to do and how the challenges that occur that you have to go through every day. It's just getting anything like water, keeping your hygiene up, communication. Luckily, you got a phone, and that's the biggest necessity. Having a warm place to sleep at, keeping your kiddos here taken care of, because they get bored. They're babies too, and they don't deserve things like this. I couldn't do that to anybody, but like I say, some people aren't me, and some people aren't in my shoes. But I'm the one going through this, and I want to teach you guys about getting jugs of water if you have to, jugs of water. You know, anything that you can get to keep your hands washed. When you're at the store, getting bedpans, go to the Dollar Tree, pick up some things at the Dollar Tree, making sandwiches, keeping toilet paper around. If you have to go to a bathroom somewhere to get some, so be it. If you have to go to a restaurant, wash your hands. Personal hygiene is a necessity out here. Keeping your face and hands and your bedding, try to get it clean. When you can get people to help you out washing your bedding, that's an awesome thing. That's a plus. Clean bedding so you won't get bugs and get things that you don't want to sleep with at nighttime. That can be a real challenge, and you have to always be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout and keep your doors locked. It's in this thing right here, there is no lock system. I mean, unfortunately, you have to kind of make your own locking system. Not to toot my own horn, but hey, it works, You have to protect yourself. There's nobody going to come out here and just stop what's happening. You have to be able to defend yourself. You have to be able to know what areas you can be in at nighttime, and all the time your head has to be on a swivel constantly, guys. Just because you're tired and you're resting and you want to stay here on your bed and it's cold and you're in your nice warm house, you can lock your door, sit down, watch your TV. Can't do that here. It's a challenge, and there's nobody else here to help you out with your responsibilities. I always say if somebody really wants to be with you, they would be here with you, and two people would be making a video instead of one. But unfortunately, I'm on my own, and this is where I'm at with my life. I've got to keep my kids taken care of. I take care of them as best I can, trying to keep them warm. Throw a few blankets over top of them. I find that kind of works. If you throw blankets over them at nighttime, give them a little bit of Benadryl. That usually kind of helps them relax. Getting food for them over here. Sometimes a bag of food. Adding water, which I call milk. It's a baby cereal mixture, but it's the way my kids relate to things. You get them out when you can. You exercise when they can, but you try not to get obviously spotted out here because you don't want people to see your lifestyle. It's very degradable living out here on the streets and in a shed or on the roads, And I'm not saying I could be back on the roads again, who knows, next week or next month. But there's no choice. The situation doesn't stop after you put somebody out here. A narcissist, they don't have that concept in their minds. They just think that, they're getting rid of a problem that they no longer have to face or an issue. Putting somebody to the road is not a solution, guys. It's just the beginning of sorrow for them. And things happen in your life, karma comes back and gets you. Or situations happen. And, the mercy that you give to somebody else along the way, it could be one of your family members. And you don't want them to go through that, I understand some people are out on these roads out here aren't very good characters and they want to be out here. They're alluding to something, they're hiding from this or that or bad relationships or, drug problems or whatever. Unfortunately, we didn't want to be out here. We were forced, and I say it, we were forced to be out here. We were pushed out here. And I want people to be aware of that. We were pushed out here. We were not asked to go. We were pushed out here. And this was the only thing we had to settle for. So, nights in the cemetery, nights in the woods, nights in a church lot, which I think these wonderful people that took me into the church, they were awesome. They were great people. They know some of the situation because they experienced it through the people I was involved with. They were the one, they also got hurt from this. And it shows you, but it's a disease, guys. It's a mental disease. There is no cure for it. Unfortunately, if you're involved in somebody that's got narcissism and you're a part of the abuse, get away. That's the only I can recommend, guys. Get away, because eventually in the long run, they will disregard you. You will be somewhere along the way, they'll discard you, and they'll feel like they'll make a problem up just to make you the person that was the bad person. And then they're enjoying the life. Like I posted some of my videos, happy-go-lucky in the parties and everything's just wonderful and just great stuff, And you're out here just trying to live every day. And there's no easy escape. This is not just like a thing you can shut off and go home and just call it quits for the night and get back up tomorrow and resume. This is an ongoing thing, and you have to trust. You have to have a good spiritual trust. You move on because you're pushed to move on. There is no going back. I mean, people can say stop or just move on. Well, you've moved on after the day you left a narcissist. But the problem doesn't end. You're still living what the narcissist and that person has caused. The damage is long-term. It keeps going for a long time until you're either out of it or somebody can help you to get away from the situation. There's got to be a resource. You look for resources. You ask people for help. It takes you to a whole new different level, and it changes your mindset on how you deal with a lot of things. You're not a victim, but you're trying to escape the problem. That's why you're out here talking to people. That's why I'm making a documentaries of every day. It's not living a victimhood, but it's telling people, there's people like me that don't want to be out here. Somebody can do something to help out. And the ones that has, I'm very appreciative. And they know who they are. There's people out there that's helped me for electric blankets and food and, offer me a place to stay or sometimes a shower or just, a kind word. And those are the people that, they don't judge you for what has happened, but they help you. And it's not a hand out, but it's a hand up until you're able to get where you need to be. I'm always looking for resources. I'm always looking for an escape off this road. I don't want to be here another day longer, especially summertime coming up. It's going to be in the hot months. I'm hoping that there's a change for me then. I'm trying, but it doesn't seem like right now there's a lot of potential assurities right now. I'm still looking to see if I can get some things going. Maybe some stuff in the future might happen. I don't know. I'm just putting all my faith in a higher power, and that's all I've got to really go on, because I know that there's no escape once you're in this road. You're in it for the long haul, guys. There's no off ramps. But I just want to let you guys know tonight, we got to stick together. If you got family out there and they're out there, get them off the roads, please. Help somebody that you can help. Do something for somebody, guys. If you got the resources, do something. I mean, there's users and abusers, but there's also people out there that are in circumstances that should never have been. And it's not because they wanted to be. It's somebody, their partner or their family member or their husband has chose that road. And there's no going back. I mean, there's just no going back, guys. You either move forward or you lay down and call it quits. And that's what makes the strong from the weak, and that's where the strong survive. Even me being disabled as I am, not being able to walk, and just using good old Cane Alfred here to help me out to move around. I still have to get up every day, and it's a challenge. But I get up and move because I know I'm forced. Instead of just laying down here all day and not doing nothing, I have to make myself to do something. It's a challenge every day, and you have to live that. And there's no downtime. There's rest periods, but there's no downtime. And I just want people to know, we've got to keep each other encouraged. This is a very real thing that we're facing here in the 25th century, 2025, and it's a hard road. It's a mental illness, and it doesn't end with somebody's carnage. It doesn't end with one person being gone. Unfortunately, it obliterates a lot of lives, and I've seen that so far. And I've seen things happen like these storms. There's no going out and telling the storms to stop because you don't like it. Storms are going to happen, and you got to deal with it. You got to pick up the pieces like we have, and we're moving on. Is it challenging? Every single day it's challenging. It's hard. You never know when you're going to get off this big merry-go-round, or and you're always trying to look for a way out. You're not just posting yourself out here to be recognized or a victimhood. I don't like the victimhood. I don't want a handout. A hand up, yes, but not a handout. But people's actions, when they do something, unfortunately, you have to live with them. Just like when these kids here are crying, these babies here are crying. You have to meet their attentive needs, You can't let them just cry or not give them the attention they need. We wouldn't be a human being, or we wouldn't have the abilities of compassion if we didn't. And that's the way that narcissists do. They don't have that compassion. They've shut that compassion off, and they no longer care. And unfortunately, I have lived through this 5.5 months of it, actually longer than that, but the 5.5 months that we have been out here on the roads, which I was promised, it will never happen. And these are lies that they set up with you. This will never happen, I promise you. Or I'll never, as long as you're with me, it'll never happen. Or I promised your late great dead mother or your dad that, I've been praying for you, and you're my angel, and I just know that I'll never put you out because I love you. And I love you goes to maybe less I love yous than it comes to you don't hear an I love you about every so many months. Then you don't hear an I love you at all for a couple of years. And next thing you know, you become less and less obsolete, and then you become obsolete, and then you're no longer remembered. And people put you out, and they look for things. Sorry, guys. They look for things to cause an argument to say that's the reason why I needed to put them out. When you've already done that, it's already been done. 5.5 months ago, that's what I posted my videos to cover myself, guys. I wanted people to see how my narcissistic companion was, that what had put me out here. So people can't come back and say, well, this happened or that happened. Well, he's been out on the roads for 5.5 months. Can they bring you in anytime they want? They have chances day in and day out. But they never change because they don't get that concept in their mind. They've lost that, what I call the God conscience, the emotional conscience, and the feeling conscience. They no longer see that you're somebody that they used to know. You're just an obsolete person that they no longer have to be bothered with. And it's somebody else's responsibility. And basically it's, when you're married and you're vowed together, it's like a mother can't stop loving a child because it's still her child. A father who loves his daughter or his kids, you're still that kid's mother and father. No matter if you walk out, you're still that conscience, that God conscience. A grandmother who loves her grandkids. You can't start loving your grandkids one day and expect us to walk out and just leave them alone, because you know what? You're still that grandmother. You're still a part of their life. They knew you. And that's not the way the narcissists see it, though, guys. It's a mental illness. It's a disease. It's very deadly. I'm going to tell you, it's like a snake bite. Once it's injected into your life, it's nonstop pattern. It's a nonstop pattern. So I just want to discuss with you tonight a little bit about some of my adventures out here, and discuss with you guys a little bit on survival out here, and some of the things on how to make it out here, and aware to you of some of the things that you have to look forward to living out here on the roads. And being out here as long as we have. It's not an easy way out. I hope that you never put anybody in this, but if you know somebody's in it, for God's sakes, go after them. Help them out. Do something, guys. Don't let things continue on. Sometimes it's not everybody else's responsibility. It's our responsibility. It's your responsibility. If you know somebody's out there and you know they've gone through this, love them. Bring them in, guys. This is no place to be. It's no joke. Storms are out there. The coldness. People are out there ready to take advantage of anything, guys. And like I say, I wouldn't personally, I wouldn't do this. But like I've been told, they're not me. Well, that's my compassion. And this is my spiel on things. Take it the way you want it, but people need to be aware. This place is no place out here for anybody. There's not people that care no more. There's not a lot of help out here, and the person that we watched go down, and we knew we could have done something, it makes us just as guilty as the person that put them out there. But my opinion, don't ever let a narcissist back in your life. Don't, guys, because they'll just keep causing the same harm over and over and over again until you're either eliminated and you're no longer a part of their issue or words. They don't validate life. They don't validate your feelings, your emotions, your cares, where you're at. They just shut you off. And then when they see you're less validated, they completely just drop the humanity axe on you, and then they cut you out. And after that, you're adrift to the wind until somebody else hopefully comes along and stops some of the carnage. By then, you're years trying to recover. If you do recover at all, it's not a way to be out here for anybody. And like I say, guys, I'm pleading with you and I'm begging to you. If you know somebody out there that's going through this, for God's sake, stop it. Help somebody. Going on almost our 6th month here out here in the road, and 2 months out here in the garden shed, and it's taking its toll, but we're still strong. We're able to get up and do things. We're fighting back, and my voice is going to be hopefully a rebel call for other people out there to stand up. I'm not going to remain silent. I don't have to mention names, but my photographs and my videos should tell it all. Don't let anybody, these people, take care of your family. I mean, this could happen to me, can maybe happen to them, Just saying, we have the power in our own hands, in our minds, in our hearts. And God expects us to use it. And if we don't use it, we are our brother's keeper. And, if we know something's going on, we don't stop it. That makes us just as guilty on this. People don't agree with me. You don't have to. I still love you, and I don't knock you for it. But like I say, come out here on the roads, take a tour. Take about 2 months off your life and come on out here and try this. And tell me how you feel. And see how you would do it to get out of this. But before you walk a mile in somebody's shoes and you judge them, come out here and try it. This is my challenge to you. And this is just me telling you guys, help each other out and work together, love somebody, and don't let anybody stay out here, guys. It's not worth it. I beg you. If you want to be out here, that's great. And you got the resources, wonderful. I'm all for it, But there's some of us out here that don't want to be out here, and we should never have been out here in the first place. But it's not by choice, it's by chance, And this is where we're at, so we have to endure, but my voice will ring on, and I hope these videos will ring on to let people know. Never remain silent. Never remain silent. Don't let anybody silence you on your feelings or emotions or what you're going through. Your voice should be how you want to be treated. Your voice should echo out, and somebody should hear, and people should have compassion. If we're truly living spiritual lives, we should have compassion in our heart instead of closing our vows, because when we close our vows off, we're just as guilty as the people that's doing the punishing. We're just as guilty as the narcissist. And evil cannot be taken up for, guys. I don't care. You cannot defend evil. It's just wrong is wrong and right is right. So that's my spiel tonight for you guys. Anybody out here listening, comment, share this post. I would love for you to share this post. I would like to let others know, but we're all in this together. You know, we're not victims, guys, but we're overcomers. Remember this. We're not victims, but we're overcomers. We got to get up every day, be strong, fight back. Don't remain silent. Get out and say something. You know, if you could do something for somebody, do it. You know, the small things is what makes the big difference in the whole picture. We're all supposed to work together in this world, and we're a puzzle, you know. It's everybody's responsibility to fit in, and it's everybody's place to help one another. And sometimes people just need a little bit of help and encouragement. You'd be surprised how far it goes. So let's remember that before we make any post and say things that shouldn't be said, because we can't untake them back, you know. We can't stop this. It's just something now. It's already been presented by the person that has committed the act, and we're the ones that have to live it. So, yeah. Let's get out here and try to make a difference, guys. Love your family, like I always tell you guys. Love your family. Hold on tight to your loved ones. You know, try to get out there and make a difference. You know, take care of your people that you know that are having rough times. Do something in your church for somebody. Say something to somebody. You know, when you see somebody sitting back there alone by themselves, you never know what they're going through. You know, just talk and listen to their story. You may not be able to do anything, but just sometimes listening to them and putting a shoulder in there, or just saying, you know, I understand. Sometimes that's all they need, guys, and that makes a lot of difference. You'd be surprised. Money, you know, money is not the solution to everything. Humanity is, and that's what we help each person one by one every day. We may not be able to save everybody, but we can save a few people. And the way that you start something is you start small and plant the seed. And it's not the many you can convince. It's the small that starts into getting the bigger and the greater for everybody. And let's remember that, guys. Let's make that small difference in somebody's life so we can end up eventually all of us are working together. It's just that kind of word. And you pass it on. And it's contagious. And it goes on. You don't need to convince nobody. It's just that small seed that you put out there that comes back in a ripple wave and a wave. So that's my spiel for tonight, guys. Monday night here in the garden shed. This is the newly homeless trucker adventure guy. Getting ready to go to my sleepy bye here in my little knapsack here. My kids are settling down, and we're going to the next adventure. Hopefully everything will be looking forward to getting better here, and we're looking for a brighter day. So keep us in your thoughts. Have a good night, guys. Later.